I'm Tom with Woodburn Nursery. To my right here, we have Kyle Fessler. He deals with more of the production side, and he does deal with some sales. And if you have any questions related to the growing of azaleas, he's our man. Stacy, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Stacy Kelly, and I'm the floral azalea and now hydrangea representative. So I've been here 24 years now, and business is growing and getting more exciting with every year.
Cecily?
I am Cecily Garza, and I've only been here about 6 months, and I am the doormat azalea and hydrangea representative.
I should have let Kyle speak, but if we let him speak, he'll just keep talking, so. Anyways, I'm calling this Floral Azalea 101. Azaleas have been around for a long time. And to the younger crowd, they really don't know what azaleas are. I think it's because they've been exposed to more of the succulents and orchids that have become popular, but azaleas are making their way back, and there's a lot to them. So, Kyle, if you go to the next one. Okay, just a little history on azaleas, because they've been around for a long time, and we're talking floral azaleas, we're not talking the shrub ones. They were around back in 1680. They were developed by the Buddhist monks, and they later transferred over to Belgium and England and France, and then they made their way over to the United States. They're actually a rhododendron, and they're related to, believe it or not, heathers or blueberries. And here at Woodburn Nursery, we've been growing azaleas for about 50 some years now. We started the nursery with azaleas, and we have transformed over to some nursery stock now, so many of you might know us for that. And before we get started, if some of you have to pop off, we have catalogs available, and you can call Stacy or myself or Cecily and ask for it, and we'll send you a catalog. We also, on our Woodburn Nursery website, you can download our catalog, and it explains everything that we have, and pricing it has on there, and it has which quantities you have to order. So just a few care tips about azaleas, because they're very, very easy to maintain in your home or in the retail outlet. Azaleas have a very long bloom time, anywhere from 4 to 5 weeks. So they're one of the few flowers that you would have in your greenhouse, or I should say in your retail center, that will hold a flower for as long as, we say 4 to 5 weeks, but they can go up to 7 weeks. So the only other flowering plant that I can see that competes with it would be an orchid, and we all know how popular those are. Azaleas prefer indirect bright light. They bloom anywhere between 60 and 75 degrees, so they're perfect for the home. They like moist soil. And orchids invented the ice cube, and believe it or not, with azaleas, you can also use ice cubes to water your plants. So it's very convenient. The millennials love that part of it. And you don't have to fertilize them, because when we pot them up, we use a, what's the fertilizer?
Yeah, they're loaded up really good with enough stored in the plant to take you through flowering, no problem. So we do soil samples and tissue analysis before we put them into dormancy, so we know exactly where they're at, and they should last you fine through flowering to cover your customers on that front.
And then one last thing about Florist Azaleas, they're zone 8 to 10, so they're really not hardy unless you're planting them down outside in like North California, Arizona, but they do like indirect sunlight. We go to the next. Here at Woodburn Nursery, we have 2 programs. We have a Ready to Forest program, and we have a blooming program. So Ready to Forest, if you look at this, there's really not, the only difference is this has blooms on it, this has buds on it. Basically the same size plant, so you're not growing it for any height. The only thing different when we ship this, and you can go to the next one, is that we ship it without the pot on it. So this allows us to put more in a case. So let's say we're shipping a 6-inch to you that's in bloom. We can get 8 in a case. If we're shipping that dormant, that same thing, we can get 24 per case. So we can get 3 times the amount of plants in the case. Thus, the shipping cost is less. The price to buy a dormant plant is less because we don't have to put it on our bench for 4 or 5 weeks. And one of the unique things about buying the dormants is that you can really control the bloom. So it takes anywhere, depending on what time of year you're going to bloom these. If you're blooming them in, I think it's September through December.
Yeah, in the fall.
In the fall, we're looking at around 4 to possibly 5 weeks to bloom them. And what you're doing is, when these come in, you're just setting them on the bench. First, you throw them in a pot, you set them on the bench. You're running your temperature in your greenhouse anywhere from 65 to 75 degrees, and they just come on naturally. Now, let's say that you get these in and you don't want to put them on the bench right away. That's fine. You can throw them in a cooler, keep the cooler about 38 to 42 degrees, and they will hold, and you can pull them out as you need them. So let's say you ordered 4 or 5 cases and you only wanted to pull 2 cases out. You pull 2 cases out, you set them on the bench, and they'll take anywhere, as we get closer to spring, it might only take 2 to 3 weeks to bloom. And the neat thing too about azaleas is once you start getting them to bloom, let's say that sales were slowing down, you could actually take the one that you're blooming on the bench, put it back in the cooler and hold it up to 2 or 3 weeks, and then bring it back out if you want and continue to bloom it on and sell it. So there's a lot of advantages to buying a dormant or a ready to forest program versus the blooming program. We have the same plants for dormant and blooming, so in the same varieties. So there's not much difference. For our blooming program, we offer, let's see, so we offer a 6-inch, a 4-inch, parts and trees. A 3 and a 6-inch, a tree in a 7-inch, 7.5, and I get the heart.
Yeah.
And I think I got about everything there. So we have a lot to choose from. You want to go to the next one?
And all of these items you can purchase at dormant ready to force as well.
So when we ship our blooming program, we can ship it in 3 stages. Our preferred stage is stage 1, where it's budded and candled. We can ship it in stage 0, which means it's going to take a little longer to come on, but some of the customers want that longer bloom time. And then we can send it in stage 2 too, which is basically the buds are candled and they're beginning to open up. So that's the difference between the 3 stages.
Well, this would be an example of a stage 1 where we're just cracking color, candle stage, they're ready to pop, but they ship very well at this stage. And you've got a better, longer time window for sales on them. If you were doing an event where you had to have it ready for a certain date, and like a wedding or something like that, and you wanted it in full bloom, we could ship it at a stage 2, so you have a lot more color right for your event there.
Now, I'm just showing you the different sizes that we have: 4-inch, 6-inch, and 8-inch. 8-inch is more geared towards Easter, where you're looking for something for your churches. You want to give it another? So on a 4-inch, which I don't have available, I'm sorry. The 4-inch is more of it's a topiary, it's a 4-inch tree, and it's more of a price point for that person who wants a topiary item. Retails on this are anywhere that I'm seeing from $14.99 to $19.99. This plant actually takes us 2 years to produce. And what they do, there's 4 cuttings in there. And as they're growing up, they weave them, and then they get them to a certain height, clip it, and then they start pinching it to get that full head on there. We offer this 365 days a year. It comes in white, pink, red, and a red-white combo. The red-white combo is usually for Christmas and Valentine's. We have a 6-inch tree. We offer this also 365 days a year. It comes in white, pink, red, and variegated. This too takes about 2 years to produce. We run it a little taller than the 4-inch, and we put a bigger head on it. The retail that I usually see in the market on this is anywhere from $29.99 to $34.99. And then finally, we have a 7.5 tree. You can see the comparison. It's a taller plant, has a bigger head, and actually the 7.5 takes about 3 years to produce. Much thicker stalk on it. The retail on this is usually anywhere from $39.99 to $49.99, depending on how aggressive you want to get. It's available 365 days a year. It also comes in white, pink, red, and variegated. And it's a great item for the larger retailers who are moving a lot of volume. And then we have some large hoops. These are specialty items. This is something that you don't see a lot of out in the market. And we have the hoops available during Christmas, Valentine's, Easter, and Mother's Day. Very popular for Valentine's. We've got the heart here. I don't have a hoop available right now, but this is an item that you really need to pre-book ahead of time with us because it's something that we sell out of every year. And if you don't sell them for Christmas or Valentine's, we carry them into Mother's Day, but after that, we don't have them on. And this is the heart. Again, it's available for Christmas, Valentine's, and sometimes during Easter, but usually ends during Valentine's Day.
Yeah, we ship a bulk of them for Valentine's Day. Every once in a while, there's a few left over, but for the most part, we're pretty well sold out by Valentine's Day every year on this.
They come in red, white, and again, the combo. I'm showing you our Christmas because during Christmas, let's face it, poinsettias are probably the most popular plant there is, but there isn't a true white for a poinsettia, and you can get a true white in our azaleas. So it differentiates us from poinsettias. It also adds to your garden center. We also have it in a red and white combo. So what we do is we put 2 bogles, we put 2 Nordlicks. They weave them together if they're doing a tree or if they're doing a bush, and then we get that red white. And it's really a nice color. Shipping. So most of the people on this call are either located in California, Oregon, Washington, Montana, and Idaho. And we offer a variety of ways to ship it. We can go air, we can go a pool truck, we can ship FedEx or UPS. FedEx is our preferred because of our rates that we have. So when we put the orders in the system, the day that we're going to ship is the day that we usually pull the product. We can put a pot cover on if you'd like. We can ship it without a pot cover because maybe you want to put it in an upgrade. We can put a UPC on it. We'll put a sleeve on it and we'll pack it in a box and it'll go out that day, depending on how you want us to ship it. We can use your FedEx number or UPS number, or we can use ours. We probably have a little better rate because we ship a lot of product. And then the last thing is we're going to have about 25,000 hydrangeas available for Mother's Day. This is the second year that we're going to have these available. For those of you who are familiar with Bay City Floral, We purchased the stock plants from them when they closed their doors, and we've been working on a dormant and a blooming program. We're sold out of dormant for this year, but we will have more next year, and we're going to have blooming available. And like I said, that'll be available on Mother's Day. And if you'd like our availability, you can contact Cecily or Stacy or myself, and we'll be happy to put you on our list and send you our current availability on hydrangeas. Again, I'm Tom, Stacy, Cecily. You need to contact us. You have our information. You can visit us on our web at woodburnnursery.com. And like I said, we have our catalogs available. We have both our azalea catalog and our nursery catalog. And we have in our nursery, we have everything that we have available. So, any questions?
I don't see any, Tom,
Okay.
but I will say thank you. I've been in this business for longer than I want to admit, and I learned a few things about azaleas today that I didn't know. So thank you very much. Appreciate that.